Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Today, I'm going to take a chance and plant these tomatoes. Hopefully, it is not too early. They have been out overnight for about 3 days now, and they seem to be okay even with the 10 degrees. So, I am going to go ahead and plant them. You can see them over there. I have 4 Elizabeth Roma, 1 San Marzano plum. I think there's 3 Evans. So the Elizabeth and the San Marzano are indeterminate, which means it'll just keep producing, keep going, until the cold hits it and it dies. The Evans, and I have early girl. Evans is extra early. It's a semi bush, so it is a determinant, and so is the early girl. They're determinant, so that means they'll grow and produce to a certain point, and then it'll just die naturally. It'll be done its cycle. So I like to have the variety because the Evans and the early girl will produce fruit earlier, like the tomato, and then the other two, it'll take a little longer for it to start producing fruit, but once it starts, it won't stop as long as you take proper care of it. So, and then the 3 brown pots are Tiny Tims, and they are little patio cherry tomato kind of things, which I'm not going to plant today. Those I will plant probably tomorrow. I have to figure out where I'm going to plant them. But the other ones, the determinate and indeterminate, I have 10 plants. And if you look there, I have 5 containers. So I don't have any extra. It worked out perfect. I did lose a few. When you have plants indoors under lights and you have so many, some will not get watered, even though you're so careful, or you overwater it. And so I did lose a couple, but that's okay. So they'll go in those 5 containers, and I have my supplies. Right there is bone meal. Behind it is the slow release fertilizer. I've got my sheep manure in there. That tote has my peat moss and my perlite. And that's all the supplies we need. So first order of business is to, in that wagon, to mix up the sheep manure, the peat moss, and the perlite. And then we're going to put them into the 5 containers. So I'm going to set up the camera where you can see my working area. Is pretty much that. All right, so let's start. I also wanted to mention, when you transplant your seedlings, most people do it early in the morning. And the reason why is you don't want to be transplanting in full sun and with hot temperatures. Like, sometimes you can't control the temperatures, but you definitely do not want to do it in full sun. Today we have sun and shade. So there are clouds going over. So it's almost a perfect day. If it was a cloudy day, it would be a perfect day to do this. All right, and here we go. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure it's nice and loose. Just the top. Any weeds that have grown, we're removing them. There's always weeds, and my next episode, or one of the next ones, will be an episode on weeding, because you're weeding all the time. Okay, so I could have used the hand one too for this. But I don't see it anywhere, so. And I'm just going on the upper layer, the upper 1 or 2 inches. And when I watered my garden this morning, I did not water these containers because I'm going to have to drench them once I have the plants in. All right. And remember, you're always looking for any weeds, anything that does not belong in there, any roots that are white. Every time you put your hand in the soil, you're checking for it. Because we know those squirrels and the birds. Okay, so now there is some extra, and all this I want in there. So I'm going to add according to its height now. Everybody got a good amount of nutrients. So this one, I aim for this part of the tote. So there's this much of airspace. So I only go up to here. Now the last one is done. That one looks like it could be done, unless I have extra. This one's done. There. Looks good. Now this could use a little bit. This a little bit, but this one could use more. So I'll put one handful over here. There, it's all level. And maybe a little more. There, that's level, and the rest will go in here. All right. I'm happy. This will go for the other one, for the Tiny Tim. I'll do that after. And I'll use this for it. So let's get this out of the way. And this is done with. And this is done with. All right. So now, oh, I forgot the sticks. I could come back and do that later. Okay, so we're gonna start planting. So I'm just gonna place them, and then we're gonna see if they need some shifting, and then we'll plant it. All right, so that's the way they're going to be planted. On the left side, I have the indeterminate and one determinate. So these two are both determinate. This one is, oh wait a minute, I mixed it up. I want the Elizabeth together, and then this is the San Marzano, and then that's the Subarctic. And then on the right side, you've got Early Girl, Evans, Evans, Evans. So determinate is on that side, indeterminate's on this side. because the sun goes from there in the morning, goes around that way, over the house, and then it sets down that way. So the sun is here. There's no sun over here. This is north. So you want the higher one on the, let's say, the north side, and the lower one, the lower growing, on the south side. So they both get sun. All right, so I guess we can start planting. Now, when I plant, I use bone meal. Once it's all planted in, we'll be using slow release fertilizer. It's an all-purpose. And it shows fruits and flowers on the label. All right, so let's do this. Oh, is that even open? Haven't even opened it yet. There we go. Oof, stinks. Okay, so I have them in opposite corners, so it allows room. I don't know, I have a feeling the camera's not aimed proper. Oh, I need my glasses, I can't see. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to turn you over there so you can see a little better. Maybe I'll move you closer. I'll put you over here. It's not really going to help, is it? You're not going to see all of them. There we go. Now you can see all 5 totes. All right. All right. Oh, glasses. Don't want to bury them in the tote. All right, so now with tomatoes, you don't plant them to ground level. You actually plant them higher, because all this, there's furry stuff on their stems, and that can produce roots. So you want to bury it up a couple of inches, so there's more root space and it can develop roots quicker, and then it becomes a more stable plant. All right, that looks good. There's a bunch of ants. If you see me kick my foot down like that, it's because there's an ant crawling on my leg. Oh shoot, you know what I forgot? Okay, if you forget, you don't have to bring up the whole plant. The root is already in it, but that's the wrong one. That's why it smells horrible. Hold on. Okay, here we go. There's a difference. You gotta be careful. bone meal, blood meal. I mix them up. Bone meal is the one that needs to go in for the roots. Blood meal is to keep the critters away. Bone, blood. This is the one that stinks. No wonder when I was opening it up, I said it was smelling. This one smells too, but not as bad. Okay, so back to what I was saying. If you planted it and you forgot to do the bone meal, just go around the plant and move the soil away. You don't have to dig the plant back up. Just remove the soil from the sides so the root ball is still intact. It's just you're moving up until the root ball. And then just sprinkle a little bit. And then put the soil back. And then put your tag. There. Actually, because the sun is the hottest on that side, I turn it around so it doesn't bleach out the name. And then if I want to see what it is, I can just push it back with my finger. Okay. This one won't matter, so I'll put it on this side. So this side is the same, and this side is the same. Oh, again. Okay, we're just going to plant them all, and then we'll do the next step. And yes, the shredded paper is still in there. Which is why I was saying to go halfway down the tote to put all your dried leaves and your paper shredding and your table scraps to go down halfway, because I am now putting the plant in and I'm at the point where the shredded paper is. I don't see any organic. I don't know if I had table scraps for this. Could be it already decomposed. Or maybe critters dug them out. I don't know. That can happen. And yes, this is when my back starts hurting. Which is why I'm not anymore go, go, go in the garden. right, so that part's done. Next. All right, that part's done. So the reason why, when I put the slow release, I don't know, I didn't read the package. I don't even know if you need to mix it in. My only concern is because I like to feed my birds and I like wildlife, they could think it's seeds or something and then pick at it and then toss it. So then in essence, they are taking the fertilizer out of the totes. So just in case that does, it's not guaranteed it will, but just in case, I like to bury most of it, which is why I did that with my hand for the top 1 inch. So a lot of it is under the soil. And now I'm gonna water it and it's done. Now, yes, again, it's full sun right now, but I don't know if it showed on camera. The sun comes and goes today, come and go, come and go. It's not a permanent thing. So hopefully these guys will be okay. Also, when you first use your garden hose, if it's been sitting for a while, always check it, because if it's sunny, like, it's warm water. When the sun shines on the hose, it does heat up. See, now it's getting really hot. Now it's starting to get cold. You don't want to put hot water on your plants, or even warm. All right, I'm confident. Okay, so now do not get the leaves wet. If you're doing it, if you're watering it and it's overcast or it's early morning's the best, even to water your plants, but I'm a night owl, so but yeah, just the base. Turn it off, go to the other one, and just the base. Do not get the leaves wet. If you do, well, it's not going to kill it, not normally, but you definitely want to be careful, because especially when they're this young and I've just transplanted it, they are very sensitive right now. And you need to water it. See there, the bottom leaf, but the top leaf is fine. You need to water it because you've got to water in not only the soil around the roots, but the bone meal that we put in there needs to go on the roots. The slow release fertilizer, because the seedlings are big enough, they need nutrients now. And don't stress yourself out. If, you know, let's say one or two, like mine even, one or two could die. It's early enough in the season, I could just drop another seed in the container. It'll germinate right in the tote because it's warm enough. And you can grow another one. Whether it'll produce fruit depends on Mother Nature, how long we get our summers. Another way to prevent the leaves from getting wet is when you put it on, don't go all the way, just gently push on it a little bit so the pressure's not as high, and make the water go against the container but low to the soil. See, just like that. That way it's not splashing on the leaves. And there you go. Done. Now every morning when I come out to water my plants, I will make sure they're well watered for, I don't know, a few days, maybe a week. And then after that, it's just regular. So that's everything. Labels are in. All the stuff that I add is in. So I will leave you here. Oops. Don't throw your hose. So one of the next videos, I don't know if it's going to be the next one or the one after, there's a few things I want to do. But coming up will be a weeding video, because as you know, I have a lot of weeds in my garden, and that's normal. You will always get weeds. Weeds will not go away. They're part of nature. So I'm going to show you how I do the weeding. And the first one is going to be here, because my poppies, calendula, and forget-me-nots, I don't know even if there is any in there because there's so many weeds coming up. So we do need to weed that. Plus over there, that one that I thought was a raspberry might not be a raspberry. It might be a tree. So anyway, so I have to do that one too. So there may be a couple of weeding videos. But that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. And remember, do what makes you happy, and everything else will fall into place. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.